Okay.
Or at least your hands.
This is a plain one,
Uh-huh.
and it hasn't had much done. Well, it has had a little bit done to it. Apparently, this person needed some room right here.
Uh-huh. They had a onion.
And then this is mine. And so this is all layers of leather. The toe that I wanted, we shape it. And then I needed room added to this last in this area. So the bone right here doesn't bother me.
You have a dancer's foot.
Yes. And so you can kind of see how much leather is added to it.
Wow.
And so we fit the heel. The heel is what we need to fit.
Uh-huh.
Because you can't change this. And if you need length, you can add length. You can shorten it up. And if you need thickness or any other, anything else added, you can add with layers of leather. And so if you've got a bunion, right here, we can add leather to it.
Yeah, we got them.
Yeah, to fit that. And if you've got issues over here,
Uh-huh.
what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just busy.
You're busy.
You can share that mic or just take it home if you want.
Okay,
We're gonna
thanks.
that.
Whatever you decide.
Oh, he's leaving. Okay.
Bye.
It's nice to meet you. This is her
Yeah.
husband's.
That's Daniel's.
She really does have a husband. You'll get to meet him. I never mentioned Daniel, and the other day she said, Mr. Cole's married? I said, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, they're heavy, so don't drop it on your feet. But so this one was mine, and I don't really have any issues other than the bone on the top of my foot right here. If a pair of boots is going to bother me, it's going to bother me right there. Tennis shoes, you can loosen them.
Uh-huh. Or you can do like I do and lace them weird.
Yeah. So that one's mine. And they break. This is how you get them out. I didn't put it back together once it was out of the boot.
Uh-huh.
But you have to break it in half or, open it up to put it in the boot.
Uh-huh.
And then when you get it in the boot, you close it back up again. So I'll show you how to do that. All right. See how it's solid.
Uh-huh.
It's flat like your foot. And then you have to break it open to get it down inside your foot, because it's like the action where your ankle, so you can make the turn down into the boot. I don't think there are any that don't have last in them already.
Let me back up a minute. Whoa. Hang on to me. I'll get a picture of a face, well, a mask face.
Here, I'll put it in a boot.
Are you doing this? Are you doing these chaps?
Yes, I made those for a girl that is 13.
Nicole, they're pretty.
My last will go in really easy because those aren't my boots, and her foot's a little bigger than mine. I'll show you.
This is school partly today. Well, not all the way. Some math still to be done.
So this is like where you've got your ankle action.
Mm-hmm.
I knew my right from my left, it would help.
I think that many times throughout my life.
And see how it fits down in there.
Okay.
But it's got to go further.
But then do you work on it?
Yes. This one may not go in there because these aren't my boots.
That's a pretty boot. Did you make it, or is that a
These
store
are Mike's.
bought?
No, these are Mike's, and he made them
Okay.
a long time ago.
I guess he'd never buy a store-bought one.
Not anymore.
You're using to pull it out with.
Well, it may be in there far enough. Let me see. There we go.
I guess.
See, now it's down in there.
Whoa. That's awesome. Yeah, that's an old pair.
So this
One
is how.
pair.
That's how we. And if you do any repairs, you have to put the last in there to do the.
Oh my goodness.
It's got the last in them, so it makes me happy. This is the welt, and eventually it'll be sanded down to really short. Now see that stitch line right there?
Oh, that's the piece that sticks out. Okay.
Yes. The top part, see how it's 2 layers?
Mm-hmm.
The top part from here around is the welt.
Okay.
And then your sole, and this is just the welting part. Then your sole is added. And it's glued on completely and stitched down right here.
To make it pretty.
Yeah. Well,
and
to
then
hold it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do I mean? All this is glued.
Well, it's glued and it's nailed.
Okay.
This is a pair Mike made a long time ago. And these are stacks of leather. And sometimes we can take a pre-made heel like this. And if it'll work, if it fits and if it matches the boot, we can use a pre-made. If not, we have to take and make a heel ourselves. And it's the same process. We just take layers of leather and stack them and shape them and sand them down until we get the heel height that we want. And the heel height that your last will allow you to have.
So real short people like the guy who did Bandit, what was his name? This is a shoe last.
This is a last for a boot.
This is a 5.5 C. Didn't know they came. Oh yeah, of course I did. They come D's. All right, that's a last for a boot, obviously with no heel yet.
Yep. So
Have you got a tennis shoe? No, you said we'd Google a tennis shoe. You don't make tennis shoes.
you want it, so you've got some rock, but you want it to be flat on the ball of the foot. Right
How
in this
did you get
area.
into this?
College friend. He knew Mike, and he said, you need to learn how to make boots.
So this is a welting stitcher that obviously needs WD-40 periodically because there are 2 cans there.
Yeah. Man, look at all these pieces. It's like a simple machine.
This machine is probably 80 years old.
And probably cost thousands.
Yeah. But that's what stitches this right here.
Okay.
This is the only time that machine is used is when that right there is
But you
stitched
can't
up.
make the boot without it, right?
Right. Well, you can, but because
You
I
see
made
the
a
side
pair
of that boot.
that aren't welted,
Mm-hmm.
but they're more dress boots.
Turn it sideways.
They wouldn't be a good work boot.
It's pretty. So this golden part of the boot is ostrich hide, and she's fixing to show me ostrich. And this would be the real leather.
Here's a piece of ostrich, but it's been cut. The
Yeah.
full quills have been cut off of it.
Uh-huh.
So this is the smooth parts, or the smoother parts. This is a hide that has not been cut.
Do they just dye it blue?
Yes. Yeah,
Wow,
naturally,
the
it's kind of a
difference is
a
amazing.
real pale gray when it's natural.
I like the gold and then the blue.
That blue's beautiful.
But I'm going to make a pair out of this one day. Okay, I call them the Georgia boots. The drawing or the pencil drawing or the watercolor everybody in Georgia has in their southern home of the brown thrasher
Yes,
sitting on the Cherokee, a branch of the Cherokee
we have
rose.
one.
I'm going to make that boot.
Oh, that'd be
That's what the tops are going to be. This is going to be the bottoms or the vamp right here. And then part like the belly, the speckled belly on the bird and the chest is going to be a brown ostrich.
Is that going to be up here part?
Yes, this right here will be the whole foot.
Okay.
This is pig. See where the hair, all the little hairs were on pig?
When I told Mama if I'm gonna ever make a pair of boots, I like this green and the gold and the dark blue.
Yeah.
So this is sharp.
Yep, that's sharp.
I wouldn't even know boots came out of anything but cowhide.
Oh, yeah.
What is this?
It's just
Man-made?
no, that actually was probably, that's cowhide, but this is goat. These thin ones are goat. See how thin they are? This is what we do, like the artwork part.
Paper.
Yeah.
And these are your base. This is like the top materials.
So what was this kind of material is this?
It's
Cow?
cowhide.
Okay.
So how do
Man,
they
they
get
could
the
smell.
gold lame on the cowhide? They glue it to it?
No, it's some kind of dyeing process.
Man.
I don't have any idea how they do it.
What
So
is
this would be
This
almost a
all
natural
cowhide
gold. That's pretty. Yeah. It's Palomino, well, maybe.
And like this, see, here's 3 different pigs, and they're all 3 different weights.
Oh, so you just, I mean, does it come that way, or did the bigger the pig gets, the thinner the skin gets? Or?
Sometimes they could be younger pig versus old pig, or they can split it, which is where they run it through something and they split
Make
it,
it
they cut
thin.
it in half.
Oh, feel this.
So, this one has not been split, but this one probably has. So you can see the thickness difference
Yeah,
between them.
yeah. It was half.
Yeah. So if this one had been split, this is what you would get.
Which one were you loving? The purple, Olivia?
What is this?
That is,
cow.
that's probably water buffalo.
It's like soft.
Yeah,
on
it's
the
very, very
inside.
soft.
Oh,
And it's
that
easy
is
to make a pair of boots out of.
Is it easy to mess them up? Or is it just
I don't
easy?
think so, but the man whom I made a pair of boots out of those for, he passed away Friday. Every year at the boot show, he buys something fuzzy. And so these are some of the ones that he's bought in the past. He said, I don't know, I might not ever use it. He says, but every year I buy something fuzzy. So, the one,
That would be good for working up in this cold country.
yeah,
What is this? It looks like a yoga mat.
it does. It's leather, and they have
braided?
embossed it. They have
Oh.
run it through a machine, and I'm gonna make.
Like
this
a
is mine.
zebra?
I'm gonna make a pair of boots out of it.
For you.
Yes, and there it. I saw a pair of boots in the boot show this year, and they were a pewter color, and then they had a pate.
So if you
We use
if you have really sweaty feet, you use elk skin, and that's what this is elk.
And it feels like butter.
And the sweat won't break it down, and we've seen a ton of elk.
Here we have.
Yep, it is so soft.
It is.
And so there's all different weights.
I mean, these are soft too, but not like that.
Right. Yeah. And these are for your tops. So like this is stiff. It's got more body to it. So if you have a real thin leather, we'll use something that's thicker for a liner, and it has more body to it, so they don't
Fall,
so
collapse.
they don't collapse. So
That makes sense.
see how this is the liner in it.
What does it say?
Custom
made.
This is for his wife. It says custom made for Lover Girl by Lover Boy, 2010, Mike Spikes. They have been together since they were 12 years old.
Wow.
And so that's your liner inside of there.
How's he feeling now?
He says he feels fine other than he's weak, but he didn't eat much for 5 days.
Yeah.
So and he has no respiratory issues.
Good.
Well, he says if he lays down, he'll cough some.
Can you take that stamp and stamp that where you already stamped it once?
Yeah.
You want to try, Rose?
All right. Hold your hand down here so you don't whack your hand. There, you're
Now,
not-
Nicole's going to move her
There you go.
hand.
There you go.
I think it's heavy.
It is. Yeah. And if you look at anybody that tools leather all the time, one hand is bigger than the other, or one forearm is bigger than the other one. This one. That's ostrich also.
You know, I need to take a couple of photos because I can't share videos. They're too long. But the videos for me.
Yeah, those are ostrich.
Oh, I see something first.
Right here, we cut that with a knife, and then we take an awl or a needle, and we go from this side to the outside and poke holes, and then your last on this side, you will run your needle from this end and stitch it by hand.
Wow.
So
Do you use, I'm sure you have to have a thimble. What kind of? What
no, we use a piece of wax,
Wax.
not wax, rubber.
So this is,
the awl.
this is basically what they use for a thimble. It's just a big old piece of like rubber. And the awl, of course, is like any awl. Which if I do happen to know what an awl is. Oh, that's a pretty boot.
So, like we have, here's a welt.
Uh-huh.
It's not used yet. And we cut these out by hand. You can buy them pre-made, but we don't. And then this ditch right here is cut with,
I can see why he wouldn't want to piecemeal his
This tool?
equipment out. Is there a name for that tool?
there is, but I don't know what it is.
You will learn.
Yeah. And so it fits like this. And we have to go through each one of these holes, and you run the awl in this hole and out, and it comes through right here, and you come out right here in this ditch.
Okay.
That ditch is so the threads can lay down in it, and they're protected, so you can, when the leather's wet, you can hammer the leather and it'll cover it. So you've got some protection, so you don't have something rubbing on top of your leather all the time.
Okay.
And that's, you have to go through all these holes, and these you go through, well, you don't go through twice, but you've got these in the corner, and you have these that are really, really close, side by, on a square toe. And so if this is 50 holes, you poke the 50 holes, then you go back through the 50 holes when you stitch them. So you're putting your all through the holes 100 times for one boot.
How long does it take you to make one boot that is not fancy?
Me, about 2 months. Mike, if he could just really stay in the shop and work at it, 2 weeks.
No wonder boots cost so much.
Yeah. Kind of like driving that RV, you got to watch where you're turning and what you're going, not really what you're going under, but you have to make sure you don't hit stuff with your wheels.
And after that, you see that bark in the big.
Turn him in a big circle back this way, Rose.
Slow him down, turn him around.
Turn him around.
Tucker, when he comes down here, don't swing that road.
You're so cute. I've no driving that tractor, not you.
Well, the one Seth shot last year, the fat on it was golden yellow. Yellow. And we were worried about that, but I kept looking on the internet to see what they sent on it.
This child is turning 13 Wednesday, and he's been driving this tractor since he was probably 5 years old. He's checking his top, making sure he can get through. And his dad's gonna help turn it. Totally amazing to me. And Daniel and Nicole are so relaxed about him driving. Doesn't even bother him. Lord, that was my grandchild in the tractor with him. Were you in the tractor with Seth? Can you hear me? Well, I hate to do it now.
Kind of like driving that RV, you got to watch where you're turning and what you're going, not really what you're going under, but you have to make sure you don't hit stuff with your wheels.
I'm riding.
Kind of like
Whoa.
me.
Whoa.
Walk,
Walk.
walk. And I don't know how they know it, but they know the difference between me and somebody else. They also know when I got my phone in my hand and I'm trying to use my phone and drive at the same time. As he gets drunk in a hurry. Starts walking all over the place.
A horse?
Yeah, I can hold those reins with 2 hands and he'll walk a straight line. I can put them in one hand and pull my phone out.